All right, guys. So our next topic here is again sticking. I said off the top, we're gonna have a lot of DC stuff and more HBO Max, Warner Brothers stuff to talk about, and we got two more Warner Brothers related things. So buckle up, dude. And this one is another. I'm still in the I'll believe it when I see it phase with this because this has to do with the 15-year-old Flash movie that's been in production at this point in time. Now, like a couple weeks ago, we did a story where Andy Muschietti, the director of the upcoming Flash movie, posted a picture of him outside the production studio, like the production lot that they were on. And that was the closest we've been to this thing actually starting production in like literally like 5, 6 years at this point. But the camera still ain't rolled yet, so I still don't know what to believe. But either way, we have more Flash news coming out. And it's kind of one good and one bad, I guess. And one is that Billy Crudup, who played for one Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen movie, but for two, he played oh god, what was it? He played Barry's dad's name. What was his dad's name? I can't remember his head now. What's the actual name of the guy? Henry Allen? Is it Henry?
Henry,
I think it's
yeah.
Henry. Yeah, I had mine went blank there. So Billy Crudup has backed out of the Flash film, but they have casted a Nora Allen, which is interesting because we've known that they were going to be doing something Flashpoint esque, but it's kind of been like, oh, there hasn't been a lot of like actual no confirmation that they're doing the Flashpoint story, right? Like they haven't said like, yeah, we're doing an adaptation of Flashpoint. So if you're familiar with Flashpoint, that has Flash goes back in time, prevents his mom from dying, and then it just creates a whole new world where Aquaman and the Atlanteans are at war with Wonder Woman and the Amazonians, and Bruce Wayne died in the alley, and Thomas Wayne's Batman, and Martha Wayne is the Joker, and it's this whole fun world, right? This whole not fun world, really. There's like war going everywhere. This is a big deal. They haven't said that's what they're doing. They've just kind of said it's been like Flashpoint esque. But now that they've casted Nora Allen in here, I'm wondering if they are actually going to. I almost have to imagine they are doing the angle where Barry runs back in time to save his mom. I would guess. Because I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys? Do you think they're actually going to be doing that now that that this casting has come out? And I'm not familiar with the actress's work off the top of my head. I'll have to look more into it here. But her name is Maribel Verdú. But I don't know. What do you guys think about this off the top?
I mean, it makes sense from what you were saying that they would go along with like the actual Flashpoint with mom and everything, but I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's going to go that direction.
That's the thing with like they're doing this. Michael Keaton's Batman's going to be in it. Ben Affleck's Batman's going to be in it. So it's obviously not. That alone makes it not be the typical Flashpoint story.
Yeah.
But the crux of it being Barry goes back to save his mom. And maybe with Billy Crudup leaving, maybe the catalyst for him wanting to go back to save his mom is maybe they'll say his dad died in prison. And then like so now he's even more sad and he's like, well, just runs back in time and then like saves mom. You know, like and that's just like kind of the catalyst of everything, right? Like maybe they do that. I don't know.
Yeah. In the Flashpoint comic, it's funny you mentioned that because in the Flashpoint comic, that's a major plot point is that his dad is wrongfully accused of killing his mom and he's in prison. But when Barry actually goes back and saves his mom in the Flashpoint comic, he sees her in the restored, universe where she doesn't get killed by Reverse Flash. But his dad never makes an appearance. Now,
Yeah.
of course, you're to assume that his dad's alive and well, and the comic just never bothers to visit him. But it is interesting that with Billy, I can't how you say his last name, Crudup,
Yep.
Crudup,
Crudup.
leaving the production, they could still get away. They could still mirror the comic Flashpoint and not miss a beat because the dad doesn't appear in the comic. I will say I think that they're going to use this more. I don't think they're going to do a direct like adaptation. I think they're going to abandon. I could be wrong, but my impression, at least from the casting announcements, is that they're going to abandon the whole far-flung world where Wonder Woman, Aquaman are at war, and Thomas Wayne is Batman, and all that. I think they're kind of going to abandon that and use the Flashpoint hijinks to bounce Barry around through the multiverse. especially since we've heard that we're getting the Michael Keaton Batman and we're getting Ben Affleck's Batman in it. I feel like that's an indication that they're going to bounce him around to different parts of the multiverse, because I believe, I could be wrong too, but my memory is right. Then I think when Walter Hamada talked about introducing the multiverse concept to the to DC fans and in the movies, I think they were kind of relying on the Flash movie to kind of introduce that. And so it makes sense that Barry doesn't just visit one alternate Earth, that maybe him saving his mom has repercussions that breaks the multiverse, and he has to visit multiple different Earths in order to restore things or get things back to a normal state. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what they're doing.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like in the comic or even in the movie, Flashpoint movie, Flashpoint Paradox, like Reverse Flash is a big part of it. So there hasn't been any confirmation that Reverse Flash is going to be in this movie. So I'm curious if he's going to make an appearance and who would be playing him and what his suit would look like, since Barry's is more practical in this world. Granted, he's getting a new suit that looks more like the new 52 Flash suit, but that was just concept art. So I mean, we don't really know. I'm wondering for that, and it looks like in that article, Billy Crudup is initially just the actor himself is leaving because there's a scheduling conflict. Um, so he was with the morning show that's on Apple TV Plus, which is actually a great show, and I didn't know that they were going to have a morning show season 2 until the news that Billy Crudup was leaving the Flash came out. So now it's good news for me on that, because I've been curious if they were going to make a morning show season 2, because that was a damn good show. It's got Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell, Billy Crudup. Great show. Go watch it. Apple TV Plus is only like $5 a month. It's like the cheapest one you can get, and they got some good stuff on there. But either way, that aside, my thing is I'm curious with this movie when it comes to like I said, the multiverse aspect. I do remember Hamada kind of leaning into that, saying that movie's kind of opened the door for easing everybody into the multiverse for DC. And I'm curious if maybe we get some. I'm excited to see what kind of like cameo Easter eggs we get, because I feel like it's a big missed opportunity if they don't do a Michael Keaton Batman, like I said before, like the Terry McGinnis kind of thing. Just like have someone name drop Terry McGinnis, and just like they move on to something else, and bring in like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, just to have like he's running through, and like boom, you have Thomas Wayne Batman just for a minute, and then he goes back to Ben Affleck's Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman. I mean, just like bouncing around, just like doing weird stuff. I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it overall, like in the end. So, but yeah, it definitely seems like they're going to be leaning into that Nora Allen thing. And I'm wondering too if Billy Crudup leaving is why Nora Allen got casted, or if Nora Allen was always in the plans for it. I would assume because of Flashpoint, she would have always been, but it's interesting that this news has came out at the same time. You know what I mean? So is it something that's been amended into the script to replace the absence of Henry Allen? Or is it just a coincidence?
Yeah. Was there like a plan or?
Yeah. But either way, we'll just have to wait and see. And the question is, guys, what do you think about this? Do you think that the casting of a Nora Allen in the Flash movie means we're going to get a more traditional catalyst for this whole Flashpoint extravaganza Flash movie, if it ever happens? That's still the main thing, if this movie ever happens. The camera still ain't rolling, and we've only gotten casting announcements and pictures of the studio, so jury's still out. But whatever you think, let us know down in the comment section below.